I really dig farming. That comment didn't come from a downstate youth. It was a teen from the Cabrini Green neighborhood on Chicago's near North Side. 30 youth are involved in an urban farm that harvested over 1,000 pounds of produce last year. The farm is a program of Chicago Lights, a Fourth Presbyterian church, and Growing Power. Let's meet Natasha Holbert, Urban Farms Director, along with Malcolm Evans, a junior at Wells Academy, who has been farming for 8 years, and Brian Ellis, a freshman at Northeastern Illinois University, who has been working the farm for 5 years. Thank you all for joining me today. This is a wonderful opportunity and a unique situation that you're all in. Can you explain to me, Natasha, how this farm began?
The farm began in 2002, which was the purchase of land that used to be former tennis and basketball courts. This was an outreach of Fourth Presbyterian Church, and it was based on a 40-year relationship that Fourth Pres has had with the residents in the Cabrini Green neighborhood. The goal was to be a part of the transition of the Cabrini Green neighborhood. Around that time, CHA had introduced the plan for transformation, which was to change the Cabrini neighborhood into a mixed income community. Fourth Church, because of the long-term relationship that it had had with the residents, wanted to be a part of that transition and find a way to create a sense of community among people who have different economic, racial, and age backgrounds. And so that's one of the reasons why the land was purchased. The goal was to place a community center on the site, but we had to do some fundraising in order to be able to build a building. And we thought that in the meantime, we wanted to use the space. So we had a small task group that was formed. And this happens with all like Presbyterian churches, a subgroup of a group was created. And that task force decided to use the space for an urban garden or an urban farm.
And then how did the youth become involved? How did you find out about the farm?
Well, I found out about it through my brothers because we used to stay in the project building right next to the farm, and we was just, I guess they was outside playing around. They saw some people over there working, and it was a cookout going on that day, so they came upstairs, brought some food over, said they building something across the street. So I went down, I went over there, got something to eat, and I was talking to the people about what's going on here, what they finna build here, and I just kept on coming.
Wow.
What was amazing was that Malcolm showed up on the first day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a small group of individuals from Fourth Presbyterian Church decided to do, they'd already done a dedication, but they wanted to create the community garden. So they came out there to the site, they had some food, and Malcolm was very curious, so he stopped by. And he was one of the first kids to come to the garden, and he's been there almost every day since we've been open.
Wow, you lead a great example, Malcolm.
Yeah.
How about you, Brent?
And it was just one day in the summertime. Me and my friend, we were just like walking down the streets, no intention of getting jobs, on our way to McDonald's. On our way to McDonald's. We would stop.
Intention was to eat.
Yeah. So we was walking, and so my boss, Laura, she said, hey, you guys want summer jobs? I'm like, oh yeah, we could use the money. So we started working, and so it just like, it was like real exciting to us. We was like always just love compost, so we just loved it. Like compost. We just like to get in and get dirty, and then so we started working there, and I'm like, man, I'm liking it. So we started telling other kids from the neighborhoods, and we tell our friends, and so like people was looking at us like, look, they got jobs, so it's like role models in the community. So like more people just start to come, and so now like I'm like a senior, like I'm staff for now, and like a lot of kids who working and Growing Power now, who's like seniors going on, they want to be staff too.
Wow.
So it affects a lot because mostly everybody who work there is mostly from the neighborhood. Like majorities for the neighborhood. Like my brothers and them all got jobs, and we's a big role model to like everybody in the neighborhood, even like the younger kids. Like every time we open a gate, kids running up there. They just
4 or
come.
5 year olds.
Do you feel like you have something to teach them too? Do you feel like you're learning something that's special that you can share?
Yeah, because like when we do the work, like cause I'm a supervisor with like instructor, so we instruct the group. So I be telling them how to do compost, and there's a couple other guys that I know work hard, so they working their way up to being an intern on staff. So I push them, like I put more pressure on them. So if I have to step away, I like put them in charge. Be like, okay, let them do this. This is what y'all do next till I come back. So I feel like I got a lot to give back.
What surprised you the most when you started doing it? Did you feel like I'll probably do this for a day and quit? What surprised you?
When I first did it, I was like, it was kind of boring. I'm not like big of a harvesting person. And I didn't like, I didn't even eat vegetables, but like I started trying new vegetables I like never heard of, and I like really liked it. And then to know that compost makes this stuff, I was just real excited about it and fascinated with it. I was just like, wow.
Like for me, I don't know, because like I was a more inside person, so I wasn't really going outside. And before this job, I was already working at a restaurant, so I kind of experienced what having a job was and what you got to do. So I mean, I wasn't like no garden person. Like I didn't ever see myself one day picking flowers, doing something like that. I was just like, man, I just kept on coming and coming and coming.
Do you feel like when you get a house one day, you know, you really gonna make sure you have a garden and teach your children
I'm pretty
that?
sure I am.
Yeah, hoop house, aquaponium system, the whole step, everything.
Why you think it's important for your kids to know something like that? Why you think that's an important thing to have in life?
Because like our neighborhood is kind of like a food desert, so like
great explanation.
So like the restaurants, like the food comes from long places and it's not as healthy. And for the kids in our neighborhood, the younger kids, to know that you can get fresh vegetables from right like down the street for low prices, or probably if you come grow it, you can have it for free. I think they should know that.
Oh, if you grow it, you get to pick some of the stuff.
Yeah, like we take stuff home all the time.
I'm eating.
So people who work on the site, employees, are able to take vegetables home, but also you know, we try to make everything accessible to everyone in the neighborhood. So we do have a sweat equity program. So if you can't afford to purchase produce at the farm stand, you can always volunteer a couple of hours every week, and you'll be able to take produce home with you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I feel like they should know where their food coming from. Because if you just eating what, like, I ain't never know where food came from. I thought it was just go to the grocery store, get that.
Right.
Now I know, so I feel like they should know that it's coming out the ground, and you could do it yourself.
You thinking different now when you eat?
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
To me, I eat totally different now. All type of veggie food, like vegan food, everything.
Wow.
That
is really good.
Vegan food. I ain't never picture myself eating no vegan food. That's no meat. You gotta have meat. That's no meat.
My boss tricked me. It was like a vegan burger I had. I didn't even know. She was like, here's a burger, and I'm eating, and I'm like, it's good. Then I ate it, and she said, that's not really meat, that's a vegan burger. I'm like, oh.
What are some of the things you grow on these plots? What are some of the staples that you make sure every year come back?
We do a lot of lettuce, greens, and tomatoes, peppers,
and herbs.
Lots of different herbs.
Yeah. Mint, chives.
And we just got like a hoop house there, so it'll be like year-round production.
And what's surprising to a lot of people is that it's not in the ground, so we grow on top of the concrete.
Right. Like we put down wood chips, and then we put down our compost. But if the neighborhood was like nasty or something, we'd have to put down clay. But
we got something like that in Allgale Gardens. It's another one of our gardens on 133rd. We had to put like 2.5 feet of clay, and then put wood chip because the soil out there is like so contaminated.
The thing that's really unique about the farm is that it's one of the only green spaces and one of really very few safe spaces in the neighborhood.
This was a really, really interesting conversation. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad this is going on, and I hope it continues for a long time. I thank you, Natasha, Malcolm, and Brian, for being with me today. I'm Tamara Love for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.